Hey, how's it going, everyone? Thanks so much for joining us here on Facebook. If you have any questions about the forecast, you know the drill. Drop them in the comments below and then I'll get to them at the end. But we have a lot to chew on. It is quite the day. We have seen, well, really, we're starting to see the worst fire conditions that we have seen here for much of Colorado in about the past decade. With this crazy heat, the wild winds, the incredibly low humidity values, we have all those perfect ingredients in place. And unfortunately, we just need a spark. So we really have to be smart today. Today, in fact, makes day 18 in a row with some type of red flag warning going across the state. I-25 off toward I-70, the Eastern Plains, Nebraska, Kansas, all getting in on the high fire danger action. We have red flag warnings going through late tonight. Wind gusts around 60+ miles per hour, especially off to the eastern side of the state, but potentially upwards of 75 miles per hour around the San Luis Valley and south central Colorado, the Sangre de Cristos. This is our vantage point looking across downtown Denver. Nice to have the blue skies, of course, but this camera has been whipping around with these strong winds that have been charging through much of the state. Look at this. We're in that 50-mile-per-hour range around Burlington through Lamar and Springfield. 67-mile-per-hour wind gusts coming through Colorado Springs, 63 in Trinidad, and really, we're just starting. I think the worst winds will arrive between about 2 o'clock and 6 p.m. tonight. Here for the metro area, 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts, pretty much the name of the game. They're starting to pick up a bit more around Berthoud Pass, and then obviously the eastern side of the state even worse. Plus, with all the dust out there, blowing dust is making for limited visibility for folks driving in and out of Colorado, heading into Kansas or Nebraska. It's going to be a mess. Humidity values right now anywhere between about 8 to 13% here for much of the metro area. This is so dry. I know if you've been outside, you probably feel it. Your lips are chapped. I mean, it is incredibly dry out there. So really, all it takes is one spark, and you saw those winds that could potentially it off. We're at 82 right now out of DIA, upper 80s in Greeley, 90s at this noon hour in Ray through Lamar, and these temperatures are only continuing to climb. We're at 68 in Kremling with low 70s in Eagle and Grand Junction, but a storm system is moving in and that will cool us off and hopefully simmer the winds just a little bit, at least by the weekend. We have one more day really to go. As we look out toward the airport, 82 winds sustained out of the south, about 15 miles per hour, and this really where we're headed later this afternoon into the mid to upper 80s and certainly some 90s out east. So it's kind of this 1-2 punch. We're looking, of course, at the terrible fire danger for much of eastern Colorado, but we're also dealing with the potential for seeing some severe thunderstorms popping up and the possibility of damaging winds, huge hail, and maybe even isolated tornadoes. You can see these areas in green and yellow, marginal and slight risk for seeing some severe storms. I do think the worst of them, however, will be more so into Nebraska and Kansas late tonight. Here we are on HD Doppler 9. Again, it's quite but further out to the west, we are tracking this next storm system pushing in. You're already seeing a little bit of the rain rolling in out toward Grand Junction. Because so close to Colorado with this ridge of high pressure, we're watching those fierce southwesterly winds zip across eastern Colorado. That really tight pressure gradient is allowing these winds to just continue to roll through, as well as bring us the heat too. Again, the storm system is bringing us a little bit of everything. If you're up in the mountains, we're getting ready for some pretty heavy snowfall. This will continue late tonight into much of the day tomorrow. So kind of keep that in mind if you are driving up there. It's going to be a complete 180 when you're leaving Denver and it's been in the mid 80s, and then you drive up to the mountains and you're tracking 4 to 8 inches of snowfall around I-70 through Vail, Aspen, Snowmass, potentially 6 to 12 inches closer out there toward the Rocky Mountain National Park and in and around Rabbit Ears Pass. So it's quite the storm, to say the least. Tonight here in Denver, mostly cloudy skies. We're still going to have to deal with the winds, but they shouldn't be as bad as what we're looking at until about sunset. Temperatures, of course, falling up in the mountains as they're getting all of the moisture. Here we are at 11 o'clock. There is that line of storms that will just be pushing into Kansas. Meanwhile, you hop over the mountains and there you go. Plenty of snow just kicking in, and it will continue overnight, really become widespread, making its way into northern Colorado towards Steamboat Springs, through Grand Lake, Kremling, through Grand County by early tomorrow morning. Fresh powder for some of the resorts that are still open. So if you're a skier or a snowboarder, this weekend is looking good in that aspect anyway. Here for the metro area, that cold front will have already pushed through for us on Saturday, dropping our temperatures quite a bit, bringing us a few more clouds, maybe an isolated shower here and there, but I wouldn't count on much much moisture tomorrow. If anything, Sunday, hopefully, fingers crossed, toes crossed, we can get some rain in here. The biggest story will be the cool off comes our way on Saturday, plus those winds backing off a bit for us. Tomorrow, daytime 5 degrees cooler. Just crazy. We'll call it partly sunny, but we do have a chance, again, a small chance for seeing a few of those isolated showers. Low 70s in Lamar and Springfield, upper 50s into northern Colorado with 20s and 30s. Those are the highs up into the mountains. 59 in Littleton tomorrow, low 60s in Arvada through Broomfield. It's a cool day once again for us on Sunday at just 55. You know, you might even find a couple of snowflakes flying, especially further to the south toward Castle Rock and the Palmer Divide, but that system rolls out, and then we are back in business with the sunshine and the heat as we look ahead toward next week. All right, I'm hopping over to Facebook. It doesn't look like there's too many questions for us today. Hi, Seth. Enjoying my Friday so far. We haven't had any crazy fires. Everyone's behaving themselves. I'm loving it. Diana, yep, we're already in the 80s, and we still have several more hours to go as far as the heating goes. Chris, hi, happy Friday. Yep, having a great day. Wonderful weekend, too. Oh, Anthony reporting 82 in Brighton with a small breeze. Okay, hopefully we can keep it that way. Yeah, it doesn't really look like any major snowfall here for the metro area. Most of that is going to be up into the mountains. Barb reporting that there's a bunch of smoke in the air in Trinidad. Oh no. So maybe there has been a fire that started down there. I was showing you those wind gusts. Oh my goodness. They're 60 to 75 miles per hour right now. And I know it's just going to continue to get worse. There we are, 63 mile per hour gusts right now in Trinidad. Nick report a lot of 82s on the map. Nick reporting 82 in Westminster. Winds seem to be calm for now anyway. And I will say, if you do live west, in better shape as far as not seeing really the worst of it. You live east of I-25, that's when we have a better shot of seeing the stronger winds, but certainly you can just see how strong they are. Trinidad, Springfield, Lamar, Burlington, oh, just the worst. I hate the wind. Can you guys relate with me? Jeff wondering about the weekend wind situation. You know, tomorrow it is still going to be breezy. The winds will be coming our way out of the northwest though, so it will be a cool wind along with the cooler temperatures. Sunday should be better, and next week we should get a bit more of a break. Nothing like what we are seeing today. Hi Einar, I hope you have a great weekend as well, all the way over there in Norway. I love that you tune in. That's great. Well, as always, we are going to be watching the winds all day long, keeping a close eye on the red flag warnings too, as they'll continue through late tonight. If you guys have any questions for me, you know the drill. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. X-Woman, I'll pull it right up. I hope you guys have a very safe Friday and you enjoy the weekend, the cooler weekend. All right, see you next week. Bye.